It's autumn, and that means squash. We have acorn squash and butternut squash today. I'll show you how to get them cut up and ready to roast. The challenging part is cutting it. So I have my honing steel here, and I will draw my knife at about a 20-degree angle to hone it. There's little microscopic teeth, and when you cut and chop, those teeth become bent out of shape. So this isn't technically sharpening it, but it is getting those little teeth back aligned. Here you go. If you want to see what a good angle is, just go by where the handle and the knife meet the honing steel. There you go. So we have ready to go. I'm going to get this away. Many ways to cut squash. I like to use this big, very sturdy chef knife with a pointed end. So I will take this, I want to preserve the shape of it. So I'm going to put it on its flat side. Then I'm going to use this grip right here and put the pointed end right on top there. And then just bring it down. Just brace yourself. This is not easy. So put your muscle into it. And then on the other side, do the same thing. Get your hand out of the way. There you go. And then you open it up. Ta-da! So take those seeds and just scrape them out with a spoon. Squash seeds are excellent roasted, so I'm going to show you how to do that in another segment. They're so crispy and delicious, and you can put them on salads or just eat them out of hand. This smells so good. This reminds me of growing up in the Midwest and all of those great autumn flavors. So delicious. Acorn squash is one of those that you could literally, each person could have a half a squash because they're just so filling and so delicious. Or you could cut it in quarters and then serve 4. But I'm just going to put it right here in my nice little snug baking dish. I like to roast them upright so that the flesh side is out, so get nice toasted and roasted. So that's the way I'm going to put them in there. Now, for the butternut squash, it's a little bit different. I actually find if you're going to chop it up to cook it in cubes, where you have it cubed, I like to peel it first, then I cut it. But if you're not going to do that, just take a serrated knife. We'll use a sawing motion like you're sawing a log. I'll cut this end off, then I'll cut this in half using the serrated knife. That sawing motion. And then it'll be way easier to just cut that down. Same thing with the edge here. With that end, just give it a nice sawing motion cut, and then you can lay it upright to cut. Don't waste these. Put these into your roasting pan, and those will be cook's treats. Okay? So you can use your serrated knife, or you can use your other knife if you want to. I'm going to get it started with that so you can see, and then I'll show you why I love this knife, because it just cuts through it so beautifully. You can put your hand right here, and then just go right down. Oh, the aroma is so great. It's perfumey. It just smells like autumn. Beautiful, beautiful aroma. All right, now here we go. It's a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of a challenge, but you get right in there, put your knife in, and then back and forth. And look at how beautiful that does. And when you've got a nice sharp knife, you can do it. So here's the inside of that. What I love about butternut squash is the gorgeous color. It is such a great, vibrant, orangey, reddish, fallish color. When I was in Australia, we had a pumpkin soup. Now in Australia, all winter squash are known as pumpkins. So they use butternut squash for it. So I will share my recipe for my butternut squash soup. Absolutely delicious. So there we go. Once I get this one cleaned, I'll show you how we're going to dress these to put them in the oven. I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. You can leave these without any dressing at all. You can put a little salt and pepper on them, great, or none. If I'm doing my soup, I just roast them unadorned, just like this. But if I want to season them while they're roasting, I'll drizzle on a little olive oil. And I find that just gives them nice flavor. You can brush it on if you'd like, or drizzle. I'll do the same thing on the acorn squash. What a treat to just have a nice half of an acorn squash. So delicious. And then my little trick, I love to use steak seasoning because it has salt, pepper, and garlic in it. So delicious. So it's great for like one-stop seasoning. And it gives it that steaky flavor a little bit. perfect. Now, the beautiful thing about a squash is that when you roast it, I usually roast it at 375 for about 45 minutes to an hour for the acorn squash and about an hour to an hour and a half for the butternut squash. And then you can serve it in a soup. You can serve it on the side, put a little brown sugar on, a little maple syrup on it. You can chunk it up, put it in a risotto. You can put it in a rice pudding. So delicious. So hope you all enjoy. And do look for that roasted winter squash seed recipe too. That's coming up.